Hi, Darwin's hamster. I don't know, this thing usually doesn't work, so I'm going to make it quick in case it doesn't work and I want to spend too much time. One, I liked a lot of what you had to say. I wanted to say in my question of existence offer up, I have my own theory, and it's not that my theory is correct. My theory follows from some principles, and basically I'm a relativist and a skeptic, and so I'm from the subjectivist side of philosophy as opposed to the objectivist side. Now, the objectivist side, when it asks, does something exist, wants to know if it really is, right? But the subjective definition is much different. Ironically, the subjective definition is actually more concrete. Because the subjective definition of existence is myself. I exist. And if it interacts with me, then it exists. And the question becomes then, as what? Right? Now, when we ask if something exists, we would be asking a term has a word associated with it. It has a definition, which is what it intends to identify, and it has an extension, a so-called extension, the things out in the real world that it actually identifies. Now, sometimes something has an intention, but that intention fails to grab anything in the real world. So, for example, if the intention of God is an almighty, omnipotent, omniscient being, and then there's no extension, then that's one way in which we would say God doesn't exist. But from the subjectivist definition, of course, we would still say, well, God does exist. God is an idea. So I think science is a set of ideas, and they're very useful tools. Very useful tools involved with science. Plus, science has many senses, like all words. So you immediately want to break the word down. In some sense, science is all the theories of the various sciences. In some senses, it's all the scientists and the whole community of scientists. And but in terms of what we usually mean with science, in terms of what's its goals and anthropomorphizing it, I think that science is really a methodology and approach, which is also a relativistic and skeptical approach by. As far as anthropomorphizing, I'm for it. I do agree it leads some people astray a lot. And so they should be careful, and I am careful. And I believe we anthropomorphize to great benefit. But we do have to understand that's what we're doing. But the point is, when we anthropomorphize the ocean, then we apply all that we know about personality to understanding of the sea. And so it's useful. On the other hand, yes, it does frame things inappropriately, especially things like science, which are not like humans. So I'm going to go ahead and agree with you in the end, because I also like the balance. Because you're acknowledging that you can't think of science, or should really, or at least not right away, but we can build a new language where we